the total offense in the first half.
So Clay-Chalkville with the ball as we start the second half of the 6A state championship game. And here's Woods. Coach mentioned he hasn't really gotten going much tonight, and he's not going to get much that time because he was met by senior linebacker Ayende Pugh, who is the leading tackler on this Saraland defense.
Now that is the most explosiveness, if there is such a word, that I've seen from the Saraland defense tonight. They controlled the line of scrimmage right there. They flew to the football, a little bit different tempo.
Fry with time, surveys the field, now takes off and floats it to Barber. And we knew this was coming. Corey Barber making the catch, and they get him involved right away. We mentioned it's been a long week for this young man. He was committed to Ole Miss for the longest period of time. Then obviously the announcement a few days ago, Lane Kiffin going to LSU. So Corey Barber and his family had a big decision to make, and he wound up signing with LSU.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, it's fine the young man wants to go to LSU. I think it's a horrible situation to put a young man in.
And the snap, Fry going back, and it's got to be able to fall on it way back at the 38-yard line.
That's a pretty horrible position to put a young man in, too, right there. That snap never got off the ground. And, boy, what a huge, really drive difference, maybe game difference player. You can see that ball is down and low. I mean, you'd have to be a great hockey goalie just to kick save that one, let alone recover it.
And that's going to qualify as a high-end sack, and that's a huge play.
Yes, it will. And, from 1st and 10 in positive territory, you've got a 2nd and 25 from your own 40-yard line.
Fry setting up the middle screen. He's got it. And a positive play there is Nasir Ray, the junior tight end, brings it out near midfield. Still going to be third down, about 22, 23.
Yeah, a really well-designed play. They showed the a hit screen to the outside and slid the tight end, underneath it. Got a nice gain of it, but came up hobbling there at the end of it, and that would be a pretty big loss for him.
Yeah, Ray came into the game with over 300 yards receiving, and he limps off there. So 3rd down and 23, a big opportunity for the Saraland defense to get a stop here to start the second half. Fry drops back, 3-man rush for the Spartans. Fry will take off. He's got some room to run, and he will reach out and get the football down to the 36, so he's still short of the first down, but it'll be an interesting decision for Clay because it's 4th down and 8.
Well, 4th and 8 is, it obviously is a lot to ask, but I think the thing that really helped on that run right there is they've got the ball inside their opponent's 40-yard line. Even if they don't get it, the field position is not all that bad. No surprise here that Clay's going to go.
They need to take it just inside the 30-yard line to the 29. 4th and 8, and Fry a long look to the Clay sideline. Play clock under 10.
Down to 3. I don't think they're going to get it off.
They snap it, but they blow the play dead, and we've got a flag, so we're going to have delay of game.
Friday expiration of the play clock. Timeout. Clay-Chalkville.
They just snuck in the timeout.
First charge timeout.
So Coach Floyd does get in the Alabama Natural Gas Association timeout to ponder this decision a little longer on 4th and 8. Let's take a look back again at the previous meetings between these two. Again, this is the 3rd meeting in the series between these two. And, of course, Clay plays out of the north, Saraland out of the south. They have met 2 previous times in the 6A state championship game. And Clay has won both of them. And they were close games. Yeah. One was 31-28. One was 36-31. You see them there on your screen. And, we mentioned at the top of our broadcast, this is the 4th consecutive year that Saraland has made it to the 6A stage.
Yeah, which is, quite an achievement. I mean, both these programs have been fixtures in 6A football, in the finals. Both those games, I remember them both really pretty well. Very hard-fought, physical football games, high-scoring games. And this one has a ways to go, but to this point has not been as offensive-minded as the other two have been.
4th and 8, Fry looking, goes deep downfield, receiver wide open, it's caught, And it's an Alabama Department of Human Resources touchdown. Nasir Ray, who hobbled off the field a moment ago, feeling pretty good as he comes back in and catches the touchdown pass.
Well, they ran the two receivers to the right, down the numbers, down the hash, and then sent the third receiver to split the two safeties. Single receiver to the top, drew double coverage. Nobody in the middle of the field. Nice throw by Fry. Good read by him. And their end result is the 23rd point on the board for Clay-Chalkville and the 24th.
Toro bangs through the extra point. That is the 5th touchdown catch of the season for junior tight end Nasir Ray. Another look, Coach. You talk about wide open down the middle of the field.
Yeah, well, the safety split. They stay on the hash. Nobody reacts to the middle run. I don't know where the linebacker was supposed to be in coverage and play the hole right there, but the end result is there's nobody in the middle of the field, and easy pickings for Fry and a big, big score for the Clay-Chalkville Cougars.
They overcome the bad snap that made it 2nd and 32.
That's really an extremely important point, Mickey. 2nd and 32, and you end up with points on the board. Wow.
Coach Floyd not happy about something. Some discussion there with one of the officials.
I can tell you right now, the officials don't like it when it's group discussions. One-on-one, they'll talk to you a little bit, but they get more than one involved.
Feel a little ganged up on when that happens, huh, Coach?
Yeah, and that may be what the discussion is right there. So, but there's. I don't think he's asking, do you want mustard and ketchup on that cheeseburger? I don't think that's what he's asking.
And we're going to have a flag against Clay as they came down and made contact with the receiver that had called for the fair catch. B.J. McLaughlin had signaled for the fair catch, and he was hit by number 12.
Catch interference, kicking team.
Yeah, and that's going to give
spot foul,
Saraland pretty good field
penalty,
position.
First down, Saraland.
Well, Spartan's got to answer. You see this pooch, high and short. And the contact is made, and that's,
you're kicking the ball up into the air with a lot of guys that are not used to handling the football.
Oh yeah,
and they've got those guys covering the kick coming right into their face. That's tough.
Those guys up front now, that's not their deal.
Saraland starts from the Clay 47 as we have had our fair share of replays on kickoffs. Kickoffs have played a big part of this game, and as has number 2, Deshaun Spencer. We mentioned he had a number of catches in the first half. He had 7 catches for 89 yards, and here they put him at running back, and that's the second time tonight he's picked up 10-plus yards on a carry.
And you can see he's pretty adept at running the football as well. He had 458 yards on the year, averaged over 9 yards a carry, and you can see why.
Roberts got one-on-one coverage back there. We're going to have the flag. Spencer almost one-handed that thing. That was tight coverage, but they're going to get the defender for interference. That was Deion Callens back there, I believe, on the
pass interference.
Well, the reason he almost one-handed the ball is because the other hand was pinned to his body by the defender to that side. He tried to stack the defender, and he wouldn't let him do it. I think you're going to be able to see it right here. Watch the left arm. And you can see it is clearly not allowed to make way to the ball. Darn near caught it anyway. Anyway, that's going to be 15 and a first down.
1st and 10 for Saraland. They'll go back to the running game, and this is going to be a big play behind the line of scrimmage. That Clay defense. That's Richmond again, number 13, and it's a big loss on first down.
Well, it's a very, very difficult defense to get outside of because, those edge guys, they're upfield at the snap with great quickness, almost impossible to get them hooked. And that's a 7-yard loss right there.
This is the 3rd time that Saraland has been deep in Clay territory. They've only got 1 touchdown to show for it. Their other drive ended on a 4th down try. This is 2nd and 15. Roberts with time. Goes deep. Spencer's got it for the Alabama Department of Human Resources touchdown.
That's a beautiful throw and a great route. They run double bend in routes. The inside receiver is going to pull one safety to the left, and then Spencer is going to beat the other safety back to the inside. Great timing on the throw, right on the money. And the end result is 6 points for the Saraland Spartans, and they answer.
22nd touchdown of the year for Spencer, and that is a huge answer. A 28-yard strike, Roberts to Deshaun Spencer. We'll take a break, and as we go to break, another look at the touchdown pass. Robert and Spencer having quite a game here tonight at Protective Stadium.
Generation home builder, but I'm the first female in my family to be a part of this industry. So I see a lot of parents that turn their nose up about these jobs, but what a lot of those parents don't realize is that the guys that are out working on our job site are making a lot more money and a lot of times have a lot more freedom and flexibility. So a lot of our subcontractors are actually at that retirement age. We don't have anybody else behind them to come and do these jobs that these guys are doing for us. That's a really big need for our industry right now. There's a future to be built in home building. Go build your future.
Now streaming on the PBS app, the definitive collection of documentaries from award-winning filmmaker Ken Burns.
Hemingway, the man, is much more interesting than the myth.
It is a story that Americans have to reckon with.
He's got my job, I'm the tell.
Discover over 40 groundbreaking films that bring our history to life. Stream the Ken Burns collection now with Passport on the PBS app.
Your Alabama Department of Environmental Management is working hard to defend our land, our water, and our air. Since 2009, we've cleaned up 2,300 illegal waste dumps. Protected land, that's ADEM, the Alabama Department of Environmental Management ranking.
I'm Chef Patty Hinich. Show your love for public television by becoming a sustaining member of your local public TV station. Watch episodes of Patty's Mexican Table and other shows with Passport on the PBS video app.
And the Saraland fans standing up, something to cheer about after that last three-play, 47-yard drive. I tell you, when Jamison Roberts, coach, has had time, he and Deshaun Spencer have been quite effective. They have connected several times tonight. They get into the end zone with that previous touchdown and making it 24-14 as Saraland's Landon Birchfield will line drive kick this thing. It picked up at the 30, and here comes Clay's Caden McGee. And he get a big return. I think we may have some laundry on the field. No, they're going to spot him out at the 43. No penalty there. Great job there by Caden McGee.
If you look at this touchdown, I think we're going to have to come up. I want you to watch number 7. Eddie, turn up the right of your screen. Watch him take the safety to the inside. Good read right there. Throws it right over the top of that safety that had been manipulated. Nice turn-in route by Spencer. Really well executed. End result is 6 points for the Saraland Spartans.
You know, Roberts has been sacked 5 times, as we mentioned, but he's 16 of 22 for 143 yards, and Spencer's caught 8 of those for 117 yards.
You know, back to the kickoff a minute, you see the Achilles heel in that Pooch kick. You know, you can't get any coverage over there. You beat one guy right there, and you get a big return.
And here to give to Aaron Robinson. That's his first carry of the night, but Saraland stays at home on that side of the field and make the stop after a gain of 3. Nice play there by Tamondre Seward.
Yeah, he filled it really well from his safety position. Still got about 3 yards, but now, you know, the importance of that kickoff return is, you know, Clay-Chalkville's in 4-down territory now. And from a Saraland point of view, boy, you don't want to have a big drive for a score and then give up another one. So they really need a big stop here.
And Fry, there you see his updated numbers. Over 240 yards of total offense in this 6A state championship game for the Clay-Chalkville quarterback. And nice play at the line of scrimmage. Woods knocked backwards. And once again, you had Deonde Pugh, the leading tackler for the Spartan defense, in on the play.
Yeah, this is just going to be inside zone with a little wrap play. And I tell you, Woods, we know what kind of running back he is, and he has had no daylight, no room to run at all tonight. Oh, a big third down right here, folks.
Third down and 6.
Taking a long look at it now. They want to make sure they get just the right play.
5 on the play clock. They snap it just in time. Fry gets rid of it. Pass is caught at the 27-yard line, and that was a great grab there. Holding on to the football, Jakari Johnson, who had the touchdown catch in the first quarter.
Yeah, they tried to isolate the flat defender with a little crosser, curl, out combination. Flat defender widen, curl route right on the money.
Derek Durgan with the tackle, but not before Clay picks up the first down, and the drive continues at the Saraland 27. Fry on the keep, and he is taken off his feet by this Saraland defense. Blair Evans, another tackle tonight.
Really well defended that time. Again, tried to show the speed sweep and run the off-tackle quarterback counter, but every gap was full and nowhere to go. Really great play concept. 6'5", 225.
Third leading tackler on this Saraland defense this season. Second down and 9. Woods gets the call, and hard running down to about the 20-yard line as he was tackled by a couple of Saraland defenders, DeMarin Dunklin and Derek Durgan.
Yeah, that's the best run he's had tonight, the best daylight he's had, and got about 3 of it on his own after initial contact.
A Saraland defender, slow to get up, and that is number 8, Jakari Harris, who we already saw leave the field earlier. I think he's favoring the same arm as he did before.
Yeah, it looks like the left arm was really bothering him, and of course Harris is their middle linebacker and one of the leaders of that defense, and that's a big loss.
So third down and 3.
And of course, definitely in 4-down territory right here. This is, as a play caller, you like the situation that Clay-Chalkville is in right now.
Woods is going to be pushed back, and a big loss back to the 20. Well, I thought it was going to be the 26. They're going to spot it at the 24. Still a loss, and it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, tried to run a little misdirection here. And just really a great push right there, by the interior front. And just nowhere to go with the football. You see the penetration, the swarmy Saraland defense. All right, here we go. Big 4th down.
4th down and 7. Here comes extra pressure. Fry running to the edge. Looking downfield, will throw to the end zone. It's batted up and incomplete. No flag back there. It was intended for Caleb Amerson. And the Saraland defense comes up with the big stop.
Well, lots to talk about here. Saraland is going to bring 6-man pressure. All right, you got to get on that upfield shoulder. Fry is able to break, contain right here. Tough throw, running to your left, throwing back to your right. But a really nice job of coverage right here by Keith Turner, the cornerback. Watch him get up, separate those hands, kept his hands right, his eyes right on the receiver's hands, separated them at the end. Great defensive stand by Saraland.
Play now 1 of 4 in the game on 3rd downs. They haven't had many 3rd downs, but they come up empty on that one. Here on 4th down, I should say. Here's the pass. It's caught, and advance forward is A.J. Martin for a gain of about 3.
Yeah, ran the flip screen to the outside right here. A pretty good job by Clay-Chalkville negotiating the blocks. They slipped the first one and rallied to the football, but still a gain of about 4 yards for Saraland.
Big drive here for the Spartans. Spencer motions out to the right. They fake it to him. Oh, they hit a little wheel route here. Bird, the tight end, got loose, and Roberts hit him in stride. A big gain there for the Spartans.
Well, I think you probably saw the pump fake. It's a double move right here, and they're going to freeze the corner. You watch right here. There you see the little pump. Tight end comes inside out off of the screen fake. That corner is frozen on that side, and a big, big gain for the Saraland Spartans.
Bird, a 6'2", 200-pound junior tight end. Big catch. First down at the Clay 37. Roberts on the quarterback keep. And not much there on the edge as the Clay defense doing its job. Number 12, Leland Johnson, forcing him out of bounds.
I tell you what, this game has become what I thought it was going to be. It's like watching two heavyweight fighters standing in the middle of the ring and just throwing haymakers at each other. This is a lot of fun right here.
So second down, no gain on the play. Under 3 minutes to play, third quarter. Coach Jeff Kelly told Susan in his halftime interview they had some more fight in them here in this 6A state championship game, and they are trying to get it back downfield. But this pass, that may be the poorest pass of the night by Roberts. That was way behind Spencer.
Well, I think the reason is because that pocket, it didn't collapse, but it was pushed back, into his lap, and really was not able to step into the throw and transfer his weight. It was all arm, and the end result is Roberts just could not get the ball where he wanted to get it.
Third down and 10.
I'd like to get at least half of it right here.
Empty backfield. Clay rushes 4. Roberts. Pass is caught at the 32-yard line. P.J. Brown had to go down and get it, so he did get half of it, Coach. Fourth down.
Yeah, went back to that hitch, that hitch concept to the boundary. Saw that apex defender to that side in the box. Immediately went to it, and here we go. Hey, what's your 4th and 4 call in the state championship game there, partner?
Well, if it's me, I'm looking for number 2. What about you, Coach?
I think so. I think Deshaun Spencer will be somehow involved in this. I also think there's going to be a lot of blue shirts upfield in a hurry.
The Clay rush. Can they get to Roberts? Roberts looks Spencer's way. He throws deep. Spencer adjusts. And incomplete. No flag in the end zone. Well, coverage that time by Clay's Dion Callens.
Yeah, went to his go-to guy, tried to get the big one right here. But a pretty good job now. You watch right there. Watch Collins get right on that hip, sees it, and is in great position. Now, contact is made after the, after the ball is touched. Pretty good defensive series right there.
Two good players going at each other there. Dion Callens, the South Alabama signee, and Deshaun Spencer, the Auburn signees.
Right. You see Collins track that hip. That's really a great job by him.
So Clay gets it back. First down run for Corey Barber. That is the second time he's touched the ball here in the second half, and he picks up 5 yards on that carry. Actually closer to 6, second down and 4.
Still has been a relatively quiet night for Barber, a guy that we saw earlier in the year. Just such an explosive player.
Plenty of time still on the play clock as play shifts. Second down. And Woods breaks free. Biggest gain of the night for the Clay feature back, Josh Woods, and that's going to be an Alabama Community College's first down at the Saraland 33.
Well, what's the thing that you want in every defensive scheme is you want an edge defender, and that time when they shifted over to the 3 receivers of the field, there wasn't any edge defender, and Clay-Chalkville took great advantage of it.
And they give it right back to Woods, who is feeling it now. That's an 11-yard gain and another Alabama Community College's first down.
And that big offensive line now is asserting itself again.
And tempo here by the Cougars, but we're going to have a timeout taken. Coach Jeff Kelly
Brought to the snap.
wants to slow this
Timeout.
momentum.
Saraland.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't want to,
Their
get
first
down
timeout of the half.
2 touchdowns at this point. And again, he's trying to slow that momentum down right here. Is just all of a sudden, boy, the spark of that running game, I mean, it just took off. I mean, Woods have been held in check just about the entire night, and now these last 3 plays, he's just exploded.
So Saraland takes their first timeout, an Alabama Natural Gas Association timeout with 37 seconds to go. And here's 2 guys that have a history with each other, Coach. They both played at Southern Miss.
Yeah, I'm sure they know each other well, and I think we're going to get a little sideline look here.
Yeah, let's check in with Christina down on the field.
Yeah, guys, these 2, like you mentioned, were teammates at Southern Miss. This is the 3rd time, like we've talked about all evening, that these 2 have faced each other in the state championship game. Coach Stewart says they talk at least once a week. They actually talk several times this week, and he asked Coach Kelly if he would leave number 2 Deshaun Spencer at home jokingly. He says there's a lot of similarities that both of them do in terms of verbiage that they took from Southern Miss. So he said when this game starts, they won't be as friends, but when the clock hits 0, they will be again.
That's a great report, Chris. Appreciate that. And Aaron Fry, boy, he is having some kind of game. He is making a case for a 6A MVP if Clay's able to win this game.
Well, you can see he comes off that speed sweep look, breaks a tackle, look pretty well blocked it at front. And look at that cutback right there, and finally taken down by a helmet-jarring tackle, but not before he's got Clay-Chalkville knocking on at the door.
Christina talking about how far back these 2 guys go. Coach, I know you've coached against guys you're friends with. That's never easy in a game like this.
I'm going to tell you a Bill Burgess story here in a minute when we get a little time.
All right, we'll save that till after the break because that's going to take us into the end of the 3rd quarter. 12 more minutes to go in the 6A state championship game. Clay-Chalkville leads Saraland 24-14.
At Lawson State, we say, it's all here. Faculty who inspire you to achieve and excel. Coaches who push and empower you both on the court and in the classroom. This is where students rise, opening doors and creating the changes today, right here, right now. This is Lawson State Community College. It's all here.
Encore Sports Medicine.
Emma Woodhouse isn't looking for love.
I assure you, I have very little intention of marrying at all.
Yet she loves pairing couples together.
I'm sure there's room under the large one for both of you.
But when she meddles with her friend's romance,
You will be married by the new year.
the result is a disaster.
Really, it is better to be without wits than apply them as you do, Emma.
Based on the Jane Austen novel.
You must stop this at once, this matchmaking.
Emma.
Sunday night at 6 on APT.
And we welcome you back to Protective Stadium in Birmingham on a chilly Friday night. The Super 7 grand finale tonight, the 6A state championship game. And a big shout out to Mickey Cunningham. There you see our official red hat for the Super 7 this week. And, you know, he that takes a lot of time and energy to do this particular job. And, you know, you're always not the fans' favorite person when you're holding up the game either.
No, you're not. But nothing happens without him.
Appreciate Mickey Cunningham and his help here this year at the Super 7. So Clay-Chalkville with a 1st and goal inside the 5 as we start the 4th quarter. a chance to pad their lead here in this 6A state championship game. Fry will take it, and he will take it in for the Alabama Department of Human Resources. Touchdown. What a night for the Clay-Chalkville quarterback.
Yeah, he's really having a spectacular night. Really well-designed play right there. You had a little shoulder fake to fake a little toss to the outside, kind of softened the defense just a little bit. That big offensive line, did their job, and he really just walks in the end zone.
That is Fry's second rushing touchdown of the game. He's got 2 touchdown passes. A typical Aaron Fry outing for Clay-Chalkville. Here's Del Toro on to attempt the extra point. And he remains perfect on the night with his extra points. Also has a field goal in the game. So this 5-play, 68-yard drive ends with this 4-yard run by Aaron Fry.
You can see, really nice insert block, set that thing up, and a pretty good, there's the insert block right there, and a pretty good high five with the ball boy there at the end of it too. So just taking care of business, fellas. I tell you what, I don't know how they get all these handshakes down. That's beyond my physical abilities to do.
Aaron Fry, let's update his numbers for you. He is 7 of 9 passing the ball for 153 yards. We mentioned he got 2 touchdown passes tonight. 13 rushes for 125 yards. So, Coach, you're the mathematician in the group.
Well, he's only got 274 yards total offense. So, that's, he's really having quite a night. And, we knew going into the game that, he was this kind of player. And, he has just taken advantage of his ability to run as a quarterback and had some timely passes.
So now the pressure shifts back again to the Saraland offense. If they're going to stay in this game in the fourth quarter, they've got time. But, Coach, they've got to take advantage of their possessions here the rest of the way.
Yeah, they're going to need a score in just about every possession. We'll see another pooch. And that pooch got pooched.
No fair catch by Deuce Scott, and he took a hit, but he did hold on to it.
Well, if you can make the first guy miss, you got a chance to run a long way, but that first guy wasn't missed.
These Clay defenders, they don't miss much, do they?
I tell you what, they are a physical.
They hit the mark most of the time.
Yep.
Let's go back down to the Clay sideline and check in with Christina.
Yeah, guys, the Clay-Chalkville team this year has dedicated their season to safety Josh Ivy. They lost him in week 4 after he went down with numbness in his arms and his legs. And Coach told me that he was diagnosed with a degenerative disease where there's not enough spinal cord fluid between his discs. So it ended his season. So since then, the team really rallied around him, and he's on the sidelines tonight cheering on his teammates. Coach even says he still dresses out, is at every practice with the team. He's kind of like another coach out there. But tonight, the team is playing for him. As far as his future on the football field, he's just a junior. Coach says he's still meeting with his doctors, and there is hope maybe he could be back out on the field next year. But as of this year, he's on the sidelines tonight watching his team play for a state title.
Great information there. Great report, Christina. Appreciate that. This pass completed to L.J. Edwards. That is Edwards' first catch of the game, and it's a gain of 7. 3rd down and 3.
All right, you're down 3 scores now, and you've got to get them. But this, the first thing you got to do is you got to get one of them. So this drive can be a little bit methodical with 11:17 left. They don't have to play hurry up. Not quite yet.
Roberts hands it off to Spencer, hits the hole hard, and he is going to have the Alabama Community College's first down up to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, Clay is going to a 3-man front with both defensive ends in what they call 5 techniques, which is the outside shoulder of the tackles, and has made that inside run a little bit soft. And Saraland has taken advantage of that.
Roberts connects once again with Turner, but he is tackled immediately. Clay had 2 guys right there, Jalen Cole along with Isaac Brown.
Yeah, that was that little flare screen back to the inside, again, read extremely well by the Clay defense. I mean, they're breaking on the throw right there, just really nowhere to go with it. Now the little wheel right off that was pretty effective.
2nd and 10. Roberts pressured right up the middle, running, staying on his feet. Now will just take off, and he'll step out of bounds around midfield for a pickup of 6, maybe 7. It's going to be a 7-yard gain to the Saraland 49.
Well, this is why having a quarterback with speed, you see a little twist in the middle, and they've got him dead to rights, but uses that good speed to get outside and get out of bounds, and turns what surely would have been a big-time negative sack into a positive play.
Another big 3rd down here, 3rd and short. They need 3. Roberts got room to run. Slides down. He may have started the slide a little early. See the officials coming in.
Well, that's going to be
right
close.
at the marker.
I'm going to say he had enough for a 1st down. Yep. The linesman at the top agrees with me. That slide was pretty quick, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. So back-to-back 3rd down conversions keeps the drive alive for the Spartans. They're at the Clay-Chalkville 46 as we just dip under 10 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Roberts to throw on 1st down. Feeling the pressure once again. The ball was knocked out of his hands by Carlos Pope, but Roberts able to recover it. I think. Yes, the official says it's Saraland football.
Yeah, I think Pope stuck out that hand and knocked that thing loose. Officials say that it was recovered by Roberts. The Clay fans do not agree with that.
Ty go to the offensive.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see a lot of ball.
On the field was a fumble by the offense.
With 1/2 of the tie, but nevertheless, it's going to be Saraland football.
After a loss of 3, 2nd and 13, make it 2nd and 14. Little twist up front. Clay getting pressure on Roberts again, running for his life. A flag's going to come in. He's going to be sacked. A high-end sack back at the 45-yard line. We'll check the penalty.
Yeah, usually that's a hold in that kind of situation.
Personal foul, tripping, offense. That penalty's a decline. 3rd down.
Yeah. In all likelihood, one of those offensive linemen stuck a leg out to try to give him help.
Just tripped.
Really smart by the Clay-Chalkville defensive brain trust. They used that straight rush to begin with. Now they've gone to their twist game. To add a little dash of something different to their pass rush that has been very, very effective in this drive. And the end result is it's 3rd down and 20.
This Clay defense plays with an edge, don't they, Coach?
Yeah, they really do. And they really have a good package now. They have a good package. They can run, and they are nasty when they get there.
3rd and 19. This is a 3-man rush. Roberts will turn it loose and find Turner, but he is going to be taken down immediately on the edge. Inside linebacker Isaiah Brown hustling out there to help out on the stop. So it's 4th down, and that'll bring the Saraland punt team out.
Well, I mean, you rush 3 and you can force the throw into the short flat where you've got, 8 guys in coverage. That's exactly what you want to do defensively. Really a great last 3 plays by the Clay-Chalkville defense.
There's Corey Barber standing back at his 20. Looking for an opportunity to return the punt from Blair Evans. And a booming high kick. Barber signals fair catch and makes it at the 18-yard line. So 7:52 to go in the 4th quarter. We'll take this time to thank Summit Family Law funding for this Super 7 program provided by Summit Family Law. So Clay-Chalkville gets the football back just inside their 20-yard line. And with a 31-14 lead, Coach, Coach Floyd would love to see his offense at the minimum string together some first downs and run some clock.
And of course, in the back of his mind is, if, hey, we can punch another one in right now, we can put this thing away.
Yeah, that would be his preferred. But at a minimum, he'll take some of this right here, but maybe a little more than this. Aaron Fry stopped after a 2-yard gain, so
only about 2.
Saraland got to take some chances here, Coach, at this point on defense.
I think so. I think they need some 3 and outs now. I mean, they can't have any sustained drives. Now that clock is, it's going to be under 7 minutes when that ball is snapped. Time is now of the essence. And speaking of time of the essence, don't forget, I still want to tell you my Bill Burgess story.
I want to hear that because we were talking about the relationship between these two coaches that Christina talked about earlier and how tough that can be when 2 coaches know each other so well and have to compete for a championship. This is a great run here by Joshua Woods as he's had a much better opportunities here in the second half, much more productive. That's going to be an Alabama Community College System first down. So, Coach, go ahead and give us the story.
Of course, Bill was the coach at Jacksonville State when I was at Troy. Great rivalry and really good programs. We won a couple of national championships. He won national championships there. And every week, and of course, I got to know and love him really well because of the kind of man he was and the way he loved football. But every week we'd call and talk to each other. The first thing Bill would say, he'd laugh and say, we agree that everything we say for the rest of the week now, starting right now, is a lie. and he was true to his word. It was a lie. All the field's in great shape. It was wet. We got a lot of guys hurt. They were as well as they could be. And then we just went on and on. And, God rest his soul. He was a great man and a great coach. I knew him when we recruited his son, and his love of life and the kind of coach that he was. You couldn't help but just love the guy.
I know those are great memories for you. You were a part of one of the best rivalries this state has seen, Jacksonville State and Troy State.
Well, I tell you what, it's a crime they don't play anymore. The powers that be should put that back, and that's all I'll say about that tonight.
2nd and 12, Fry with plenty of time. A flag flies, so Fry takes off. A lot of room to roam. He'll step out of bounds at the 41-yard line, but we'll check the laundry back at the 26.
In all likelihood, a hold. The problem you get to in that scramble drill right there is that you got to lock on man with somebody in your area, and a guy like Fry, when you turn and play man, offense, you see the illegal block there on Clay-Chalkville. That one's going to come back.
I tell you, Coach Floyd brought his game face tonight now. I mean,
he's a pretty live wire. He was that way as a player. I remember him, and he's got a lot of confidence in his team and his staff and in himself, and he puts it all out there.
Clay has had some great teams, even though they're going to back up here with a penalty. They have had some really great teams in their history. If they win tonight, it'll be the 275th win in their history in 30 years of playing football. Coach, this has got to be, you could argue that this might be the best team they've had.
Well, yeah, I tell you what, I've seen them twice now, and they've been really impressive.
Corey Barber getting around the edge and picking up about 8 yards. Corey Barber again. Signed with LSU this week, had been committed to Ole Miss for a long period of time, but decided to follow Lane Kiffin to LSU.
Well, I'm going to say again, I think it's ridiculous to put a young man in that situation, when he's trying to win a state championship. It just seems crazy to me, but
that put a lot of stress on the Barber family here, right? You betcha. Heading into the state championship.
You got to make a decision that quick in the middle of your season. That's almost as crazy as a coach that's got a team on the cusp of a national championship deciding to take another job in the middle of the season. But I probably don't want to get into that either.
Timeout.
So. That'll take us to our fourth quarter media timeout. We'll take it. 5:39 to go in the game. Clay-Chalkville leading Saraland 31-14.
Good ghost story will stretch your imagination and make you wonder, could that really be true?
For 50 years, she traveled the South, collecting tales of mystery and the supernatural with her ghostly companion, Jeffrey. Now, Alabama Public Television presents Catherine Tucker Wyndham's classic ghost stories like you've never seen them before. Jeffrey's Southern Ghosts, coming to APT's YouTube channel this December.
I'm glad to hear that because I like my ghost stories to be verified.
There's power in the simplest of actions, like one neighbor helping another. where everybody looks out for everybody else. Community is everything to the electric cooperatives of Alabama, and we're grateful for your trust to provide the energy you need, giving you the power to power on. Your Alabama Electric Cooperatives, empowering lives, empowering communities.
I'm Larry Durham, and I am an instructor at the North Alabama Home Building Academy. I always share this with students considering a career in the home building industry. One is something you get joy out of. Two is something you can become very good at. Three, it's something in a very high demand. And four, something that's going to reward you well for your efforts. A career in the home building industry checks all the right boxes. There's a future to be built in the home building industry, so go build your future.
To stay in your right lane, you need to stay in your right mind. Bro, you need to steer clear of the weed. Literally. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. You know, there are a lot of suggestions on how to drive, but that speed limit isn't one of them. I think that's for you. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it.
I want to take this opportunity to thank a special group that's really helped our crew out this week. Soho Social and Social Taco in Homewood, feeding our crew that has been working their fingers to the bone all week. Long hours from can to can to provide you wall-to-wall coverage of the Super 7 State Championship. So we appreciate all the meals provided to our crew this week.
Amen, partner. Our crew does a fantastic job for us.
3rd and 11, and over the middle, Nasir Ray was wide open, and Fry connected with him underneath the coverage, and he takes it forward for an Alabama Community College system first down.
A nice call on a well-designed play. Cleared out the middle of the field, split the linebackers. You know, brought him in late. Ball's right on the money, and a big first down. And I tell you what, I mean, there's still 5 minutes left, but that might do it because they're going to be able to run off at least another minute.
Yeah, as we mentioned when they started the drive, putting a few first downs together, you start putting this game on ice.
The ball's going to be snapped under 5 minutes.
They run it again up the middle. Wood picks up short gain about 3 yards down at the bottom of that pile. Helping out on the stop was junior Braxton Holly.
You know, after that slow start, Woods, before that carry, it was up to 65 yards. His average was up to 5 yards a carry. And they're going to let that clock run. I mean, they're going to be in that 4-minute offense. You're going to start seeing that ball snapped with about 4 seconds left on the play clock. Certainly no hurry right now.
Play clock now down to 5. 2nd down, 11. Fry takes a snap and takes off, follows his lead blockers. He's into the secondary. It is a foot race. Aaron Fry is going to take it in for the Alabama Department of Human Resources touchdown.
Boy, he is put through a hole. He really is. I mean, he is like smoke through a keyhole. He just slid right through there. You know, it's the same deal right there. You get a little window dressing to get the defense moving lateral. Really nice blocking up front. Take a look at it right here. You can see there's the double pull, the kick out right here, and boy, Fry turns it on. And I think Alabama State's got to be feeling pretty good about their future right now. And that is probably going to do it, folks.
Daryl Del Toro on for the extra point attempt, and he knocks it right through there. 38 to 14 now, and another look at the Fry touchdown. 56-yarder here.
Well, you see both guards pull. Both of them get kick-out blocks. Fry does a great job of reading the blocks, cuts inside the second block, squirts right through that hole. There's going to be no catching him, and I tell you what a night. 15 carries for 183 yards, 12.2 yards a carry. Thrown for 167 yards. I think I got an idea who the MVP of this game might be.
What a night. What a career. Aaron Fry. You know, when Coach Stuart Floyd talks about this young man, you can just see the glow on his face. And, you know, they had their signing ceremony at the school the other day, and the 5 young men who signed, and, you know, he was beaming when he talked about his 2-year starting quarterback, Aaron Fry.
You know, we kind of fell in love with him, and you know, the Thompson game we had earlier. I mean, he made 2 clutch throws that were just unbelievable under great harassment, and boy, he is taken to the big stage tonight.
And the pooch kick will sail out of bounds. That's the first time tonight. You know, we've had a lot of drama with these kickoffs. That's the first penalty we've had on a kickoff. I think.
Yes, we've had everything on
Kick
these,
out of bounds.
Actually, that's not true. We had the penalty on the opening kickoff with the fair catch. That was not a fair catch.
There you go.
So,
Coach Floyd threw the red flag on the opening kickoff.
Yes, he did.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, I don't think I have
Not
either.
on the opening kickoff.
And he's, you know, demonstrative about something right now. I don't know. These coaches, they get so concerned about things. I don't really quite understand it. Do you? I mean, you know.
Yeah, coming from you. Yeah. Roberts' pass is complete, a gain of 5. And once again on the catch, that was Eddie Turner. We mentioned that Coach Floyd was the quarterback of the 99 state championship team, and he was the offensive coordinator on the 2014 and 2023. He was not a part of the 2021 Clay championship because he was the head coach at Mortimer Jordan that year. But other than that, this will be his first state championship as head coach for Clay-Chalkville if they hold on and for the next 3.5 minutes.
Well, he is definitely, you know, a Clay guy through and through, and has done a magnificent job with his football team this year, you know, along with his staff. And I mean, these guys like to play football. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, they relish the challenge, and no stage is too big, and they are going to be less than 3 minutes away from a state championship.
Third down. This is Spencer. Speed. All right, correction. That is Brown on the carry. Nice speed there. He crosses midfield, picks up the Alabama Community College system first down.
Now, you know, of course, the yardage is important, but the big thing from a Clay standpoint is to keep that ball in bounds and to keep that clock moving.
Good look at Keith Richmond. What a year he has had. He is. And here they come after Roberts again. Roberts escapes the rush and will just run and step out of bounds for a gain of a couple.
And I think that the edge rusher to that side, I can't get the number for sure, but I think he's a little bit frustrated. I think he had him in his sights and got a little bit greedy, got a little bit too inside out, and allows Roberts to get outside and pick up a little yardage and stop that clock.
You and I had the opportunity to meet Keith Richmond's parents.
We did.
At the Thompson Clay game.
Really
they
nice
were sitting
people.
right below us, and
Yes.
Richmond had such a big game that night, and they wanted to make sure that we knew who they were after the game. It was a pleasure to meet them.
Yeah, they're really nice family. And, of course, that's the game where we were in amongst everybody. We broadcast that one from the stands, and that was a fun night as well. But, yeah, his family, really nice folks, and I know they're very, very proud of Keith.
Another catch for Deshaun Spencer, who's had a really good night tonight. In a big week with the signing with the Auburn Tigers.
Yeah. Yep.
So first down and 10, and the Clay 33, and again the clock just continues to move. And Roberts will try to escape, but will get rid of it and just throws it out of bounds. Keith Richmond actually had him wrapped up back at the 44.
Yeah, Richmond was pinwheel on the pivots right there, but he did not let go. And just another time when he spent time in
intentional grounding,
Saraland
offense,
backfield, and you can see the end result is intentional grounding, which is going to back him way up. Basically a sack.
Now, what's your assessment of Roberts? He's got some really solid numbers tonight. He's just been under so much pressure. He's been sacked several times, but I think the Saraland quarterback position's in pretty good hands next year.
There's no doubt about it. 25 for 34, 216 yards. those are great numbers considering the pressure that he is operating tonight, because he's had a lot of company in the back, in the backfield. Unfortunately, most of them have had on blue shirts.
That is the 10th catch of the night for Spencer. He is up over 130 yards on the night with the 1 touchdown catch.
Clay is very content to, let that ball be caught or run into the middle of the field and keep that clock running. We're going to be under a minute when the ball snapped here. Close to it.
3rd and 19. Once again, pressure right up the middle. Dumps it off to Brown. And Brown pulls his way inside the 40. Tackle made there by Jamario Yadeo. And it's going to be 4th down.
Well, and the bottom line here, in spite of really, it's not like Saraland's not trying to block them. They're battling up front, but they just cannot match the quickness and tenacity of the Clay-Chalkville pass rush. And that's really been one of the major stories of this game.
And that's really been the case with everybody Clay has played. They have had a tremendous year on the defensive side of the football. And Roberts gets rid of it before he gets hit, and then throws a strike to Martin, and he will take it in for the Alabama Department of Human Resources touchdown. That may be the most impressive play of the night for the Saraland quarterback.
Yeah, what a throw right here under tremendous pressure. He had blue shirts right in his face and threw a strike right on the money.
That is Martin's 4th touchdown catch of the season. And here's the extra point attempt. And it is good, and that makes it a 38-21 game. And let's get another look at this play. And watch Roberts stand in there with the pressure bearing down.
This is going to be a deep crosser, and I think what Roberts does, he throws it right in the hole and counts on his receiver being where he's supposed to be, and it's executed about as well as you can do it. It's going to be too little, too late, but still a very, very impressive throw and catch, and it's going to make it maybe a little easier. And
we see Coach Floyd here. He's aware of what his players are up to.
A traditional Gatorade bath, and no thank you, not tonight. Those things are not fun, by the way. He's
I tell you what now. Not a dull moment on that sideline.
He shouldn't have been a quarterback. He should have been a nose guard. He is one intense guy. Well, they put the empty cooler back and fill it back up. Try it again.
I think Coach Floyd wants a hot shower tonight. Here they come again.
Somebody's getting one. They got no. He dodged that one too.
And this kickoff is down by Clay at the 28-yard line. 31 seconds remaining.
31 seconds left, and still a dry coach on the Clay-Chalkville sideline. Will the third time be the charm? They're saying to the truck, he got a little wet on the legs. That doesn't count. If you don't get from the neck up, it's not an official dousing of the championship coach. Does anybody have enough courage to try a third time?
Victory formation for the Cougars.
Just an impressive performance.
Scoring a timeout. That'll be the final play of the game. Clay-Chalkville is going to capture their 5th state championship in school history, 3rd in the last 5 years. For Coach Floyd, again, he's been a part of 3 previous championships, 1 as a player, 2 as a coordinator. This is first as head coach at Clay-Chalkville High School.
That's the end of the ball game.
And let's go down to Christina standing by with the coach.
Coach, you avoid the Powerade bath, but one thing you can't avoid is a blue map. Your team getting it done in all phases here today. What can you say about the pass rush of your defense and your quarterback, Aaron Fry, getting it done with his arms and his legs?
Yeah, man, they were defensively, we got after them pretty early, and you got to do that with them, make them uncomfortable. And, quarterback played outstanding and thought we just leaned on him most of the game. And we're like a python. Eventually, we just squeeze the crap out of you.
Coach, this is Clay-Chalkville's 5th state championship and the program's 275th win in program history. What can you say about what this means to you in this program?
It's about the kids, honestly. I'm glad to be a part of this. But really, man, these kids have worked their tail off for 2 years, really 3 years, and for them to just meet their goals and everything they wanted to do. Couldn't be happy for our coaches. I'm the face of this. These coaches put this plan together. These kids, they execute these plans, and so it's really about them.
As a head coach, what does this one mean to you?
It means I'll be meeting with the ring guy on Monday, probably.
Congratulations, Coach. I'm glad you stayed dry here this afternoon.
Me too. Thank you.
Great job, Christina.
Not yet. Okay.
A willing bather there on this cold night.
Well, there are different techniques to how you handle the shower.